Alright, you guys, welcome back once again. Check it out. 6-bottom moldboard plow. Something you really don't see these days, but this thing definitely has its purpose on our farm. Alright, so we've kind of had a little change of plans, a little change of crop plans as per usual on our farm for some reason. So here's the plan. We are currently in what we call the East Home pivot. And this is the one that I showed you a couple videos ago that we put in a barley and Austrian winter pea cover crop out here. We put it in a little bit early and hoping it would overwinter and we would plow it under next spring, but things have kind of changed and this stuff is actually well over a foot tall in most areas. The hillsides and hilltops are a little bit shorter than that, so that kind of is what it is on that part. The reason that we're plowing this field under this fall instead of next spring is because the other field, the West Home wiper, that field was actually going to go to another field of winter barley, but we had a little bit of a timing problem as per usual on our farm, and that field was a red wheat, and then the volunteer came up and it actually went to seed, had viable seed before we could get that field terminated and killed before those volunteer wheat seeds were viable. So now we have a little bit of a problem with that field because we didn't want to put the barley in there with having, all this volunteer wheat seed in there, and then we would have a kind of a mixture of grains that we really don't want. So that field I did a couple days ago plant it to a barley Austrian winter pea cover crop, and that one is now going to be a green manure for sorghum. So we're kind of switching the fields up, and so now back to the East Home pivot. This one is going to be the other field of winter barley that we put in. So going to use the moldboard plow right here. We're really not going that deep. I don't know if you guys could tell, but it's probably anywhere from 4 to 6 inches deep. We're kind of going as shallow as possible and just flipping over the all this green manure out here and kind of getting it incorporated. Then we'll run over it with the cultivator, smooth everything out, get the drills, fill them up, and get it planted to the barley. So let's get after it. Yeah, check this stuff out. It's just like, it's actually looking really nice. There is some peas down in here. That's the only downside. I wish we could have let this field go a little bit longer to get those peas growing more and fixing more nitrogen for us, but not going to be the case on this field this year, so that's all right. We still have quite a bit of green manure out here to plow down for nutrients. You know what, we should probably check the oil on this thing. It's always a good idea. Let's see. And there is no oil on the dipstick. Well, I think that's optional. Okay, let's get her going. Shut the AC off. FR2, what? It's in, that was not even being used. I don't know what that little warning was all about, but okay.
hate it. I don't hate it. I just don't like it at all. And it's terrible.
Alright you guys, we're kind of jumping around today, so we had to unhook the plow and then we got the tractor hooked up to the drills right there. What we got to do right now before we continue plowing is we have about a 16-acre piece of land up over the hill, and that needs to be planted to spelt. Now, we've never grown spelt before. This is the first time doing it. We just had one of our customers ask us to grow it, so we're gonna try it out this year and see how it works. So as I was doing the final tillage pass on this 16-acre piece of land, I noticed the hilltops and hillsides were a little bit drier compared to down in the draws. So after I finished that final pass, I turned on the pivot, let that run for the rest of the day and into the night, came back out at like 9 p.m. and shut the pivot off. But now that field has got even moisture across the whole thing, and so now because of that we'll have a better, more even emergence across the entire field, instead of having, you know, all the seeds in the draws germinate right away, while the seeds on the hilltops and hillsides kind of just sit there in dirt and do nothing until they take on moisture. Oh man, look at this barley out here. Barley and peas, I guess. The peas are coming on also. They're a little bit slower than the barley starting out, but that's going to be a nice cover crop. I'm just making the final pass on the headland right here, and after this then we're done planting this field. We'll go down, unhook this. We do need fuel. We're at less than 1/4 of a tank, so we'll fuel up, then head back out and keep on plowing. Okay, we are hooked back up. Let's keep plowing. Get that window shut. There. Take her back down to low. Take that off. Turn the wheel that way, put it in forward. Let down the plow. That's probably a good idea. Nice. Alright, here we go. Oh, probably 4-wheel drive. Alright you guys, we're back out here, what we call the east home pivot. Just about done plowing the field. You can see, got that little piece right there, probably less than an acre to do. What I came out to show you guys was down here, you can see we got all these nice coulters on here that cut through all the trash, one on each plow, but the one right here is missing. Now I did grease those coulters just a few days ago and they were all turning just fine, and you know, I didn't think there was any problem, but evidently when that bearing went, it went pretty quick. Ouch. Yeah, there's the inside race. I don't think it hurt the shaft too bad. Well, maybe it did, I don't know. Oh, there's the inner bearing piece. Alright. Well, the good thing is that it's not really affecting us out here. It's turning under these oats and barley and peas just fine without plugging up. Alright you guys, well, we got that field all plowed, so now we can move on to some other things. And I'll tell you, it is actually deer season right now for Modern Firearm. What we're gonna do, because we have kind of a lot of farming we need to get done, is we're just gonna take our rifle with us right there into the swather, and we're gonna go swath the buckwheat because that buckwheat needs to get swathed. I have seen deer in there all summer long. For whatever reason, they like the buckwheat. They like to hang out in there. This here's the gun we're gonna be using. Not really a deer rifle, but this is the Ruger Precision chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. Got a SIG 4x16 on it with a 4-inch, you know, can on there. That thing's actually really nice. This thing is a loud gun without having a can on the end of it, but with that, it's kind of like a muffled 12 gauge, so that's super nice. Don't worry, this thing is not loaded. Oops, okay, well, yeah, now it's not loaded. Anyways guys, that's going to be the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and be sure to check back, because it might be kind of fun if we see a deer out there and we got to jump out quick, and who knows, yeah, we might just get a buck from the swather. We'll have to wait and see. Alright, well, now that the camera's off, I'm going to load this thing back up. Yeah, oh, we're good to go.